For Hype Plus, I'm Terrence Sims. It's an unspoken truth that in the entertainment industry, if you provoke the wrong person, you can find yourself outcast from mainstream success no matter how talented or popular you are. Although major players would most likely deny the act of blacklisting an artist or using their power to ostracize them and minimize their opportunities. It doesn't take much to connect the dots when a group as groundbreaking as Wu-Tang Clan begins to lose steam at the height of their career. During the time when New York was battling for the top spot in hip-hop, Wu-Tang Clan, comprised of RZA, GZA, the late Old Dirty Bastard, Method Man, Raekwon, Ghostface Killah, Inspector Deck, U-God, and Master Killer, kicked the door in and put Staten Island on the map. Wu-Tang gained widespread yet underground popularity with their single Protect Your Neck in 1993 and kept the momentum with their debut album Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers, regarded as one of the most influential hip-hop albums of all time. The Wu sounded like nothing ever heard before, ushering in a new wave of hardcore East Coast hip-hop. By the summer of 1997, Wu-Tang Clan had become one of the hottest rap groups on the East Coast, compared only to P. Diddy and the Bad Boy Records family. So it was only right that both crews were tapped for the annual Summer Jam Fest hosted by New York's Hot 97 FM. WQHT 97.1 FM has always been a popular radio station in New York, but in the early 90s, the station was struggling to evolve. They were shifting from the top 40 hits to house music and dance to where they would ultimately stick with hip-hop and R&B in 1992. Groups like Wu-Tang Clan helped lay the foundation of the station's new voice, and in turn, they were one of the first to support the rap group. In 1997, Wu-Tang had just released their second studio album, Wu-Tang Forever. After a run of successful solo projects for some of the group's members, the album did extremely well, going quadruple platinum, selling over 5 million copies. This was an exceptional feat considering the lead single, Triumph, was over 5 minutes long with 9 verses, no hook, and little radio play. Headlining the most popular hip-hop festival on their stomping grounds of New Jersey should have been a no-brainer. But the problem was that the group was on a European tour with the rock band Rage Against the Machine. Playing the festival would have meant pulling out of their obligation and missing out on money made from touring. According to several Wu-Tang members, despite the deep history between them and the radio station Hot 97, gave the group an ultimatum: come back to the States on their own dime and perform at Summer Jam for free or never have their music played on the station again. In his book, From Staircase to Stage, Raekwon recalls, "No one in the group was happy about the situation because we were from New York and Hot 97 was our station. It was the station we helped make in a lot of ways. And now here we are 5 years later being told they'll never play us again."
We was pretty much on our own, like, yo, buy spur of the moment tickets for 9, 10 people, get back here, do the Summer Jam, and then somehow get back to Europe.
The decision to either play Summer Jam or continue on with their tour was met with contention amongst group members. We've never got a lot of mainstream radio play as it was because we aren't that kind of group. So a lot of members didn't want to do it, Raekwon remembers. Lamont U-God Hawkins recalls in his book, Raw My Journey into the Wu-Tang, "There was 9 of us, so we voted. Some of us said, let's go back and do it. Some said, nah man, let's keep moving. Let's keep doing what we do. We'll fix that shit later." After guidance from their label head, Steve Rifkin, reminded them that they had a brand new album out and needed Hot 97 support, they decided to put their emotions aside and do Summer Jam. The sold-out festival was held at Giant Stadium on the hot afternoon of June 7th in 1997. The bill was stacked with hip-hop and R&B heavy hitters like Jay-Z, Aaliyah, P. Diddy, and Mary J. Blige, just to name a few. According to Raekwon, Wu-Tang was set to hit the stage last, unbeknownst to them. "We weren't told ahead of time. Nobody wanted to go on after us because they knew the Wu would take the room and never give it back. But by the end of the night, people were tired, they weren't feeling us the way we expected, and the second we got on stage, everything went wrong." On top of frustrations around being coerced into a performance, their microphones malfunctioned and some of the people left their set early. Emotions came to a head, and what happened next would set a precedent for any artist with beef at Summer Jam from then on. Ghostface grabbed a working mic and shouted, "F Hot 97. We listened to Kiss FM." With Kiss FM being Hot 97's rival station, this was a major diss to the host, the very stage they stood on. Ghost continued, "Hot 97 where hip-hop dies, a flip of the station's tagline, where hip-hop lives." Big Dennis Rivera and DJ with Hot 97 even recalls Method Man throwing a battery at him and Funk Master Flex backstage. The rest of the crew and the audience began to join the chant, "F Hot 97. At that point, the group's mics were cut off and the stadium lights came on, ending their set. Former Hot 97 program director Tracy Claherty remembers the events of Summer Jam 97 a little differently. In a 2015 interview with Complex, she said, "Quite frankly, I'm not sure to this day why they were so angry, because they had to ask to headline the event. Traditionally, the headlines closed the show. Unfortunately, it was the year that Biggie passed away, and he was supposed to be on the show with the entire Bad Boy family. Bad Boy had just performed before the Wu-Tang Clan. Some members even claimed that the Bad Boy set spilled into Wu-Tang's time slot, adding further to their tensions," Tracy continued. "I guess was such an emotional moment that Wu-Tang didn't want to follow it, and I understand why they would feel that way. But it was something that was never discussed with us, and maybe we could have changed things. In his book, From Staircase to Stage, Raekwon says, they even stopped playing our solo records for a while, which was definitely an issue for anyone launching their solo career. In my mind, starting right there, the industry began to look at us as difficult people who didn't handle business correctly. Other top 40 radio stations followed suit and took Wu-Tang's music out of their rotations. The group even quit the tour with Rage Against the Machine indefinitely. After 1997, the Wu as a whole saw a major decline in their overall sales and Billboard charting singles. Acts like Jay-Z and Mace and later Ja Rule and 50 Cent began to take over the hip-hop scene for the East Coast. And while Wu-Tang Clan held on to their legendary status, they began to drift out of the spotlight. Wu-Tang celebrated their 20th anniversary in 2013 on a Summer Jam stage. And in 2023, Funkmaster Flex issued an official apology to the group on behalf of Hot 97 in an Instagram post he shared. I want to take this time to apologize to RZA and the entire Wu-Tang Clan. Almost 25 years ago, the group, me and Hot 97 had a disagreement that to me never got put to bed, and I apologize. Looking back at this 20-something years later, we're gonna make up for the time we missed. The world's greatest rap group and the world's greatest radio stations are going to come together, bring you something amazing. To this day, Wu-Tang is still touring and headlining shows. They wrapped up the NY State of Mind tour with Nas and Busta Rhymes in 2022. And most of the group's members still create and perform music in some way. They are family men as well as businessmen. The group's actions in 1997 may have cost them mainstream success, but it let the world know that Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to f with. Stay up to date with the latest news and comedy by subscribing here to our YouTube channel. Follow Comedy Hype across all social media and look out for original content on our new streaming service at comedyhype.com. For Hype Plus, I'm Terrence Sims.